So you've decided you want to record drums, whether that is in a studio or your own space, like say your house, and you're diving into various stereo microphone setups. Well, in this video, you're going to get to hear a few different stereo options to determine what sound best fits your needs. What's going on, everybody? Nick Costa here, and in this video I'm going to show you a few different stereo microphone patterns so you can hear the difference and determine what sound best fits your needs. Now, before we dive into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. That way you're notified of any additional content that I upload to the channel. So you're recording drums and you have everything set up. Now, whether you are using an overhead set or a room microphone, maybe a combination of the two, then you've heard of a few different stereo setup patterns for your microphones. The three most common are an XY pattern, the Blumlein configuration, and finally there is a mid-side configuration. And in this video, you're going to get to hear the difference between those three to determine which one best fits your needs. So let's start out with the first one, which is the most common configuration, which is a stereo XY. With a stereo XY, you have two capsules and they are set up in a 90-degree configuration, so you could get a stereo sound. Make those capsules a little bit wider than 90 degrees and you're going to start to get a broader spectrum. And of course, make them narrow, you're going to get a more narrow spectrum. 90 degrees is the usual setup for an XY configuration, and when it comes to drums, you're going to get a solid sound out of that. Now, the next configuration is the Blumlein configuration. This is where you take two microphones and place them on top of one another, and they are in a bidirectional or figure 8 pattern. Additionally, they are off axis from one another at 90 degrees. Now, the final configuration of this video is the mid-side configuration. This is one that is used if you are concerned about phasing issues, or if you're not using a plugin like the Auto Align from SoundRadix. Now, with the mid-side configuration, again, you have two microphones. Again, they are on top of one another. This time, however, you have a cardioid pattern for the top microphone, which is pointed directly at your source, and then you have a figure 8 configuration for the bottom microphone, which is 90 degrees off axis or pointing to the left and the right of the source. Now, to show you these three configurations, I'm going to be using the Vanguard V44S microphone. This is a stereo microphone that does have two capsules inside of it, and you can rotate the top capsule to get some of these various configurations. Now, additionally, this microphone comes with a splitter box, which makes it extremely easy to switch back and forth between all of these different configurations. Now, when you're doing a mid-side configuration, you do have to do some manual adjustments in your DAW or your digital audio workstation. That's because in a mid-side configuration, one of the channels has to be phase reversed. Now, with the Vanguard V44S and the splitter box, one of those outputs is already phase reversed. So if you are in this configuration, you're going to take that top microphone input and move it over to the top microphone input that's already phase reversed for you, and you don't have to worry about doing it in your DAW. Now, the stereo XY setup is the one that I use when I do any of my drum mixes. Now, when I do a stereo XY pattern, I offset my microphone a little bit. That way, one of the capsules isn't facing me while the other one is 90 degrees away. Now, for the Blumlein configuration, I'll have that microphone facing me. That'll have the bottom capsule facing me or the sound source. That top capsule is still set up in the 90-degree configuration. It just means that it's going to be off to one side. Now, the pattern pickup for both microphones is set up in a figure 8 or bidirectional pickup pattern. Now, for the mid-side technique, I'll have that top capsule facing me or the sound source, and the bottom capsule is 90 degrees offset. The top capsule is set up in a cardioid pickup pattern, and the bottom capsule is set up in a figure 8 pattern. That allows that top microphone to pick up directly what it's pointing at, and the bottom, since it's offset by 90 degrees, is picking up the left and the right. Now, because that top microphone is phase reversed, that is why I can get this mid-side sound. All right, so for this demo, what I'm going to do is set up that room microphone in those three different configurations. I'm going to play the same exact groove and switch between those configurations so you can hear the sound difference. As I'm playing through, you're going to hear just that room microphone by itself, as well as mixed in with all of my other microphones. So the closed microphones that are on the drums, in which I have a kick in and out, a snare top and bottom, a rack tom and floor tom microphone, as well as a stereo pair for my overheads. And with anything where you're comparing different sound configurations, it's highly recommended that you hear this on decent speakers or headphones rather than those really tiny speakers on your computer or your smartphone. That way you can truly hear the difference between them. So, enough of me talking, let's dive in. And there you have it, 3 of the most common stereo microphone setups to determine what sound best fits your needs. Now, if you have any additional questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section, and I'll try my best to answer them and help you out. I'd also love to hear which pattern you enjoyed the most, so make sure you leave that in the comment section as well. Now, I have no affiliation with Vanguard Audio Labs, and they are not paying me to do this video. I'm just a really big fan of this V44S microphone, which is why I use it in my setup, and I wanted to show all of you how you can get some of these different sounds using just one microphone. So if you are interested in picking up a V44S for yourself, I've put links in the description below so you can read up on the microphone itself. And if you are interested in purchasing one, I have put an affiliate link in the description below as well. And that is it. Thank you so much for checking out this video on various stereo microphone setups. And until next time, see you later.